I think this was more than a love letter to the troops, and it was a reminder that the way we live our lives is due to those who put theirs on the line. You can see that because every pedestrian shot is mirrored with a war shot. So if you're walking through the woods, you have that freedom because of the fights in the woods. If you are, um, what was the other one? The milk bath and being sad in there because someone was drowning in war, or at sea. And a lot of it was, do we appreciate the life that we have? We live on at parties and we're upset at, like, and bored with our phones and texting when we have that capability, and just to kind of make you appreciate what we have because of what they've done. I also loved the green shot when we cut from all the neutral tones into the beautiful landscape of greenery. It was stunning. And then the piece stub at the end was a nice little button.
So it was a very well done piece, built around servicemen and women who fight overseas, who are joining any national security apparatus. And I feel like it was interesting because it create a bridge between how you see these people from the past, how you see them currently, and what their life is like, not just when they're on the field, but when they have to come back home, and all the people that are involved, their lovers, their wives, people that have been there for them, who are going to be there for them when they return home, and how difficult that is. And I felt like this is a very generally under served community because they're very small, typically very small in contrast to the general population. So the pride of these people are generally well known, but not as well constructed to the average person. And I feel like this piece was dedicated for that kind of person who needs a sort of bridge to have a higher sense of empathy for how much these people have to go through and how much their struggles go on in a context in which people are not really recognizing it. I thought the ending pieces, the ending sequences with the service members who've come back home, who've been hurt, who are trying to get better, who are trying to reconnect with their family, who are trying to deal with the implications of PTSD and therapy, really ended up leading to the overall concept of hope and an inspirational vibe of trying to heal yourself and grow. And I felt like the music ended up matching well with what you saw on screen, and ultimately it created a compelling portrait of these people who don't necessarily get their humanity reflected as often as they probably should.
The poetic lyrics are really well written and touching on the emotional struggles when fighting in war. I appreciated the moving shots of women worried about their partners far away. Excellent cinematography, from close ups to distant drone shots, notably in the desert. An overview of what the effects of war is. I saw all aspects of dealing with our veterans, from the PTSD to the people they leave behind, to what they go through over there, to the history of how um, the idea of the militia started from the colonial times to now. I saw the effects on the mind, the effects on the body as far as the disability, and the effects on the people that you leave behind. It really gave a roundabout view on what serving your country really means. And a lot of times we talk so much about the patriotic aspect of it, but we don't talk about the horrors of it on the mind, and how performing acts like acts of war can leave a person feeling unwell and centered mentally, and then about the lack of resources that there are there for them in those cases when they do return home. It touched on to me seeing the women felt and represented to me the women that are left behind when their men go off to war. Seeing, the soldiers speaking to those in those therapeutic sessions, and just those moments being in that dark room, it represented to me the feeling of aloneness when you do come home.
We got a really cool kind of just modern rock sound. It kind of throws back a little bit to maybe kind of the 80s a little bit, and it's kind of aural aesthetic, if you will. The production, to me anyway, which I really like. I really like that a lot. And yeah, no, it was really cool. I love the singer's voice. The band sounded great. The production was awesome. The song was well written. So the visuals are terrific. I love the point they're making about helping veterans out. And we're seeing it was neat that we're seeing veterans in different time periods. We're seeing kind of modern, almost Hurt Locker type imagery, and then we're going back to like maybe 18th century or Napoleonic era, yeah, imagery. And then we're seeing various ways that the veterans are recovering at the end there. So yeah, there's a really good message in here. It's a great song with great visuals. It was very cinematic and well produced. Everybody on screen did a great job. It was well directed, well edited.
I loved the harmonies in the song. They did an amazing job with that. They were so tight and so perfect that it just kind of gave you chills. It was so good. I also loved what they did with this whole thing. They told a story and it was very clear. It was very concise. It was beautifully done. I think that the a cappella section too at the end of the song was exceptional. That was a really nice touch, and it was very smart songwriting to have the end be a cappella. But all in all, the melody of the tune, I loved the hook.